What do you know?
Let's see.
We're live.
All right. Let's see if we can find a damn video.
Oh yeah. Boy, what hell?
Hello.
I was trying to
There we go.
mess around with this program so that we could stream with microphones and stuff, but I knew because we only had like an hour to try and test it out and stuff. It's like, how do you test out stuff without going live and seeing it look insane first? But anyways, we're here. We made it. We got coffee.
It's complicated.
Yeah, this is Richard.
Hello,
I'm Trevor.
everybody.
And who knows? We just want to see what this can be. You know, I think that if you just start something and you have fun with it, then it'll manifest into who knows what. As long as you just want to make it better every time, you know.
Just hang out.
Who knows if this will be better than the last one?
Yeah.
But I saw some people comment about like creating theme song and intro and all that stuff. I want to do that, but it's just, you know, in the meantime.
This is it.
Yeah, we will.
One thing at a time. What up, Big Ricky? Siphon. I'm not sure who's that is. But
Siphon.
Siphon.
Getting a siphon, son.
Matt Kruger's in the chat.
Kruger.
Kruger.
I fixed the muffled piano sound.
Sounds better.
Yeah, it was weird. I don't understand.
Article 4, Section 4. I didn't get to watch the last one. It's saved to his channel. Yeah. Check it out.
I don't know how great it is, but
yeah, I mean, just to hang out, but it was fun. It's Elude. Oh, it's my buddy Elude, the tattoo guy that we talked to at Ralph's.
Nice. Are you alluding to something?
Yeah. Did you allude to something there, Elude?
No, that was original. So we have some questions, and people ask.
Yeah. If you got questions, put them in the chat right now. Any questions, you know?
Yeah, it doesn't have to be politics. It doesn't have to be about coronavirus. It doesn't have to be about anything particular.
Normal
but the
questions.
whole intention and goal here is just to bring people together and talk about real stuff. Because I noticed, you know, I came from the music industry kind of community with musicians and stuff, and it seems like a lot of people, I'm sure in all kind of fields of life, they kind of stick to, you know, they're quiet, they want to stick to their own kind, and you better not go outside of, you know, saying certain things or asking this question or talking about that because you want people to like you, you know?
Yeah.
And I think I want to help encourage any kind of influence I have to be able to like help people to just talk about stuff and just it could be about anything and the real key is not having anger, you know?
Yeah, you should be able to talk about any subject. Doesn't matter how stupid it is or what someone says is insensitive, just talk about it. Doesn't mean you're taking a side of evil, you just
What'd you just say?
Huh?
What'd you just say?
I don't know. See, anger is everything.
Exactly. That's what I realize is people either have anger and they're emotional and they get, you know, passionate about whatever they're talking about, that it clouds and distorts their ability to just be able to listen, have a conversation, you know?
Like, you ever notice when people get pissed off that they can just throw away everything that happened before that just over one little small thing? They can just write you off.
That's true.
You know? And it's like, it makes no sense.
You can have 10 days of complete amazing fun.
Yeah. And
have
1 minute of disagreement.
And then one disagreement.
Or 10 years of friendship.
It's like, oh, I don't like that person anymore. It's like, why is the negative thing so much more impactful, I feel like, to people that you can have, you know.
Yeah, why is one disagreement way more than all that time and experience you guys got? Whether it be friends or couples, whatever.
Yeah.
Big bumps in the chat.
Big bump.
Christine Stewart.
What do you know?
Article 4 says dropping anger is key.
Exactly.
It's everything. Article 4, Section 4. I feel like I'm getting invested. Questions. Let me find those questions. So, here's one. I think Trevor has insight on this. Here's one.
Hit it.
Importance in roles parents play in their children's confidence and upbringing when they grow in a loving house as compared to a broken home.
Say it again.
So how does a loving home
say it loud for the microphone in the
How does a loving home compare to a broken home when it comes to your child's confidence and upbringing? Take it away.
No, I don't want. I mean, what do you guys think?
Well, yeah. Anyone got any ideas?
Yeah, I want to hear what you guys have to say. It's not like what I have to say is the most important thing. But I feel like the question answers itself. How does a loving home compare to
A good home, a loving home.
Compared to what?
Compared to a dysfunctional home.
dysfunctional?
Broken
Well,
home.
exactly. The difference is that one has love and one has dysfunction. But I think that the key is there's a lot of dysfunctional homes. They don't have awareness, so they think their idea of love is not. They think that they're being loving, but it's really not love at all. And that most people's idea of what love is just a skewed version, and it's not real. It's this human fleshy love of selfish love.
Conditional. As long as you agree with me, I got love for you.
Yeah, and that exactly. People, I don't know, they act funny, but I think it helps me be reminded of myself that I say, what is love? God is love. I can't create love.
Yeah, we got nothing to give.
Yeah, and so if I just am zero at all times, then I could be a vessel and allow God to operate through me. Of just the key is not having that anger. But houses that have that anger, because they're emotional, and anger is just such an emotional thing, people assume love is an emotion, that you feel something with love, and it's, I don't know how to really put it, but I know that God is more than just a feeling, and God is the truth, and it's probably because I'm connected to Wi-Fi.
Oh, maybe I should join. I'm off the Wi-Fi.
I'm disconnecting.
So it's still buffering. Looks like it's back.
Back to life. Yeah.
What's your favorite junk food?
See, we don't have a crew or any kind of other help, so I got to get up and fix it on my phone. But we got to do what we got to do. You know what I'm saying?
Back again. Now we see you. Jennifer Gutierrez. Oh, Jen she's been to church. She's on Instagram. She says hi.
Nice. What's up, Jen?
Much better. Good then back to buffering. Good now. Alright, thank you, Jason.
Because I had to take it off the Wi-Fi.
Yeah, we're mooching that Wi-Fi with the cell phones.
Yeah. It's funny that Verizon is pretty good service because it sometimes works better than Wi-Fi. There's no interruptions, which is weird. But maybe it's because I live in a cave.
There's some questions from Trevor's Instagram people on his post. Public education. Do you guys think it's essential or non-essential?
You think public education is essential or non-essential? You know what I think? I'm a fan of education in the sense of learning and gaining knowledge at the appropriate time. Like, I know that whenever I'm doing something, like I didn't go to school to learn music or go to school to sing or anything like that. I just started doing it because I was interested, right? And actually for me, school, it's like, they stick 30 kids in a classroom with one teacher. They got one way of teaching you how to do something. And if anybody, everybody's different, and not everybody's ready to learn in the way they're going to teach you and what they're going to teach you. And I feel like most of the times education is just going to be some sort of memorization thing where you're hearing someone tell you something and then you're just basically trying to absorb that information and intellectualize it. When for me with music and singing and stuff, I did it because I enjoyed it, and when I came across a hurdle along the way, I would trial and error and figure out what it was, and I would learn at the appropriate time when I was ready to take on what was next. And I hated school growing up. I don't know about you.
It was I was good academically. I had really good memory, but looking back, yeah, I don't think it's the best place for kids. You got to deal with a lot of stuff that you think makes you tougher growing up, and maybe because you got to deal with some stuff and overcome. In some ways, it makes you tougher, but it's also trauma. Like, having to get your stuff stolen, having to deal with.
I never had that happen.
Yeah.
Were you picked on as a child?
No, but I lived in a gang area. So,
Millhouse.
Yeah. I got my backpack jacked, and then all my stuff was thrown across the lawn. But it was a bad neighborhood, so, and I look like, again, that was the whole half white thing. So I grew up in a neighborhood of all Hispanics, but because I looked white enough to them, if they wanted to do stupid shit like that or stupid things, steal my stuff, then they would justify it because I'm white, But
Well, I'm white. I didn't have any of that happen to me.
yeah, but you were in Orange County. It's a nice
true.
area.
That's true. I lived in. But I used to get in fights with people where I'd have, I didn't take shit from nobody. You know, with the education thing is, I'm a fan of connecting dots for myself. You know, actually, when I was young, they used to stick me in special classes because I was behind. I didn't learn at the rate that everybody else was learning, and looking back, it's just I was bored in school, and I didn't like what I was teaching, and I just shut down. And I came around the time of ADD and ADHD, and I was kind of like a guinea pig to that stuff.
Resource class.
And my mom was like, real like, oh no, my kids, I gotta save them. Take to the doctors. Oh, doctor, what do we do? Oh, put them on medication. So I was on medicine. It was never, fun to go to school. And when I was at school, all I cared about was hanging out with my friends. And it wasn't because I was lazy or I didn't want to learn or anything. It's just it wasn't an environment for me. And looking back and reflecting, I'm the type of person that I like to connect dots more so than memorize and learn something, like studying. Like
it's a one size fits all approach, and it doesn't fit every kid.
Like the idea of studying, like you'll read this book and then you take a test. The thing is at school, I feel like all school cares about is getting the right answer. When how you get that answer is the most important thing, and there's more than one way, 2 ways or 3 ways to get answers, and you don't have to do it the one way that they say. At least that's from my experience.
What kind of meds did they put you on?
All kinds of stuff. I don't remember what it was.
Like Ritalin?
Well, I tried Ritalin. It wasn't. I didn't react well. A lot of the medicines I was on, they said I reacted in the opposite way.
You got hyper?
I get more hyper, but then I had to find the right medicines, and I'm not gonna retain the memory of what medicines I was on.
Yeah, Jeremy says ADHD meds are the worst.
Yeah, it was the worst.
Yeah, I wouldn't put my kids on drugs. Not like that. It just doesn't make any sense. That stuff didn't exist 100 years ago.
Yeah, it's crazy. Looking back, it's like I don't remember how I felt in a lot of ways because I was on autopilot. I think medicine just kind of distorts you to not really being able to have experiences because the medicine is forcing you to have the experience that the medicine wants you to have.
Who would win a fight between JLP and Al Sharpton? Jesse Lee all the way.
Al
Jesse
Sharpton,
works out.
and Al Sharpton's too mad. He's too emotional.
And he lost a lot of weight, and he looks kind of sickly.
Yeah.
Maybe when he was kind of fatter, he probably could have thrown some weight around. But
he's like an old Cat Williams.
Yeah, he looks like a wrinkled up, shriveled.
But I think Cat Williams would beat Al Sharpton too. Cat Williams is from the hood, from the streets.
Yeah, Cat Williams he's an OG.
He don't fuck around.
But yeah, Jesse would beat his ass all the way. All the way.
He would.
Jesse's in shape. Let's see. School can be done by yourself. Just read and read and read. Yeah. You can. And you can just go on YouTube now and learn almost anything.
Yeah, that's true. I didn't grow up in that time where it was just normal. I was a part of the evolution of having it all come to be, and I utilize it all now, and it's awesome. But I can't imagine growing up from birth into a world of YouTube. And I think that's what's going to happen, man. I think that everything is going to be, curriculums online where you can, pick what you want to learn. And I think school teaches you a lot of stuff that you're just not going to use and not going to, it's like
you're not
you have
using
this
calculus.
closet of brain space, and you're just hoarding information that is useless.
You should be learning about taxes.
Exactly.
And
Life stuff.
How to shop, how to budget your money, how to fix a car.
Really, we shouldn't learn about taxes at all. Tax is theft.
Yeah, that too.
We shouldn't be taxed.
Yeah, we shouldn't be taxed.
We should be able to give from the heart instead of being forced.
Keyboard hate report theme request. Wild Wild West.
But I'd be more of a fan of a toll system where anything that I consumed, I would pay a toll when I needed to consume it. Like if I called the cops, I'd pay a little fee to have the cops come. So, because I understand in society we gotta have fire department cops, public libraries, all kind of things. But I think that we should use what we consume because there's too many people that don't pay taxes and just consume. And we have to pay for it.
T Warrior's got a good question for you. Will Biden pander to black people by wearing a do-rag?
I mean, who knows? Biden will do many things. I don't know if Biden knows what he will do.
I think Biden is He's nuts. They didn't even let that man just get some sleep.
Yeah, I think Biden's family should have enough love for him to like be like, hey man,
Yeah, let him sit down
you're
and,
having
watch
you're
some
not
TV.
talking, you're not making complete sentences, Berber.
All taxes theft. Exactly, Matt. Matt gets it. B. Neal. All is well, my brother. How are you? Travis Jensen's in the chat. Travis Jensen, one of the best street photographers in the world, this side of heaven. Check him out on Instagram at Travis Jensen. Biden gonna get his leg hair cornrowed for the black vote.
That'd be interesting. If I could see anybody have cornrows on their legs, I'd pay for that.
What do you
with
think?
My taxes.
What do you think about Big Mike 2020?
Big Mike 2020. What is that?
The Big Mike's gonna replace Biden.
I
Big
don't
Mama
know.
Mike.
Yeah, who knows? It's possible.
Yeah.
Well, I think that there's plenty of things under the sleeve of desperation, which is why they want open borders and all kind of things. Because, I mean, I'm not saying I'm right, I'm not saying I'm wrong, but from what I've gathered and observed, I think that more people are waking up to the truth of things and learning not to, learning to question the media and question all these puppets that are talking about stuff, trying to, push their narrative on things and do it in some kind of way that makes us fall for it. And it goes back to that education thing. People are so trained to hear that the experts say this, and so you don't question or try to connect the dots yourself to know. You just take their word for it.
Yeah, you trust authority on everything.
Yeah, and I'm just a fan of people being in the power of their own society instead of the government coming and dictating certain things. What was the question?
Hanging with Corn Pop. Man shell? Question mark?
Man show?
Man shell. Like Michelle.
Oh, right.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Neil gets it. Jeff says, for real, how do we get this on Biden? Jesse got wisdom. Jesse does got wisdom. Let's see, we just got some Instagram questions. Let's see what they said. Why is everybody... This is from Leonel. He's from Bond. The guys from Bond lives in San Diego. Talk about why everybody is watching porn so much nowadays. Why is that? Why is everyone watching so much porn?
You know what I think? I think that there's just certain band-aids, right? Where you sit by yourself, you want to do something. You want to, whether it's your phone, you want to be distracted. And I think porn is just another one of those things. But the thing about porn is you end up having your, dopamine released in your brain, and it becomes this habitual thing. And porn is everywhere now. It's like on Instagram. It's put in everything, and what's porn? It's just going to be selling sex in some way. And it's hard because as a man, it's like, I appreciate a beautiful woman.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I'm not a fan of like the kids being exposed to pornographic stuff too young, and like when they're an adult and they want to make their own decisions about certain things, like that's on them. You have the freedom as an adult to do what you want. But I just think about the kids and how society is being conditioned, with TikTok and Instagram. It's like all these like young kids like just trying to get famous, trying to get a bunch of followers or do something, and they always got to use sex and whatever it takes. It's this desperate thing.
And no normal girl gets into porn. Like if you look at, we saw this one crazy interview with
normal girl meaning a girl that grew up with a good dad.
Yeah, that loves her father, didn't grow up hating men, wasn't traumatized. But all these girls, from what you can see, they're all broken. They have terrible relationships with their fathers.
Which girls?
Non-existent. Porn stars.
Oh, right.
A lot of them are abused as kids, raped, they're molested.
Yeah, isn't the average lifespan for a girl, porn stars, like 33 or something like that?
Yeah, they don't live long, and their careers, they just get blown out. Like it's not good. So if you gotta be that messed up to make porn, I think it tells you that the product itself, porn, is not natural. Like a healthy relationship would have sex in there somewhere. You gotta make babies.
Right.
But porn is it's not. It'll eat you up.
Yeah. Now home videos that no one else sees, that's different.
In the comfort of your own home, on your cell phone.
But just broadcasting for the world to see.
Porn is a silent weapon for a quiet war.
It is, exactly. I think people that tune in to this kind of stuff know.
Roberto, he was exposed to porn when he was 8. Exactly. It starts when you're young. I think I saw my first Playboy magazine like at 9 or 10.
Yeah.
And then we talked about, I know some of those guys know, you would see porn, that porn channel, you didn't have it, but you could see the squiggly lines.
Yeah.
And you see a boob or something when you're a kid and you sit there and watch it.
You heard the moaning.
You hear, and you
What's
watch
that?
the boob. And you giggle, you know what it is, but you're like, what's that? You know?
Yeah, I remember my grandpa, he wasn't my real grandpa, but he was my grandmother's husband, and they were together, so he was like my grandpa. But every time I go to his house, he just had these, like, he collected Playboy magazines and left them everywhere in the house. I remember my parents used to always, like, get mad, be like, why do you leave this out all the time? And it's funny because when you make a big deal about it in front of people, too, like when you're told, oh, that's bad and you can't do that,
You don't want to do that.
You become more curious as a kid, so it's like, it's interesting.
Yeah, we got told not to watch HBO after dark when we were in junior high.
Yeah.
And then what did we do as soon as my friend's parents left the house? Threw on HBO after dark. Red Shoe Diaries. You guys know what I'm talking about.
But I'm a fan too of like parents that are able to talk to their kids and explain certain things, and because if you just tell your kids no, then they're gonna be curious about it, and I think that parents should be able to communicate in a sense of why, educate, like let them know why you shouldn't do certain drugs or any kind of drugs, but
what's too young though? Would you tell if you had little kids, how soon are you gonna tell them about sex and drugs?
I'll probably tell them when, because the thing is that you don't know when they're ready for it, because you don't know when they've been exposed to it already as a kid. It's like if they're going to school, regular public education, or on Instagram and TikTok and all those things.
They're lost.
They're already being to be exposed to it, so you could, in your head be like, oh, when they're 10 or 12, I'll talk to them. But they could have already been exposed, and you would know, and you're late to being able to explain certain things.
That's why you got to homeschool if you can. I mean,
Yeah,
I'd love
man,
that. If I have kids, I want to homeschool.
I think you do. Like, there's a fine line between too sheltered, and because I remember in high school, like there was a lot of Mormon kids that went to my school, and they were always like these good kids. But then, like the end of high school, they just rebelled and lashed out and did the worst things. Did drugs, like had sex all the time and all kind of stuff.
Yeah, that's a good example of intellectualizing what's right, but obviously your kids are proof that the parents weren't doing it right.
Yeah.
They probably knew every word to say, every lesson to expound on and scold them, but those kids resented those parents, no matter how Christian they were.
Yeah, that's the most confusing thing as a kid, is that you hear your parents say all the right things, but then you watch them do the complete opposite, and you learn by the example of what you're witnessing, And that's the most confusing thing, because and then it trains you, and I know for myself that it trains you to intellectualize right and wrong, and be not know how to be it or do it, and then when you become an adult, you gotta overcome it.
Yeah, because I noticed a trend with people who think that when they memorize the Bible, for example, like Jesse likes to bring that. It's a good example of people who say they're living right because you follow God, you believe in God.
Sounds good.
Packaged up real nice, you dress modestly, but all you do is just like throw verses at people. You just like, you text them 15 different chapters, you want to read them, 5 pages of scripture, and you just basically become a lecturer. You're like the Jordan Peterson of the Bible.
It becomes a intellectual battle of trying to see who could sound the holiest, who could say the right thing, and who knows it more, and I think that's what pushes a lot of people away from God, and is because the example that they see with church and religion and all kind of stuff. And I wouldn't call myself a religious person, but I believe in God and I believe in an order in life. Because music, like I always say, music has taught me a lot about life because it correlates. It's laws, Harmony doesn't happen on accident. There's a reason why there's harmony, and just like music, in life there's a way to achieve harmony with people.
24 hours a day.
In family, yeah, exactly.
Yeah. It doesn't mean you don't stub your toe, forget your keys, lose your cell phone.
Right.
Those aren't issues. It's about being angry and getting pissed.
Yeah.
Resenting people, throwing out your friendship based on one misunderstanding. You got a little super chat here from Roberto Carlos.
Oh man, thank you. Is it Roberto?
Roberto!
Oi!
He wants to know, requesting your own rendition of Yesterday cover. I think he wants to cover
Yeah,
Yesterday.
I did that. I don't know if I can remember how what I did. Yesterday. All my troubles seem so far away. Now it looks as though they're here to stay. Oh, I believe in yesterday. Suddenly. Oh, I might have changed the words. I'm not the man I used to be. There's no shadow hanging over me. Oh, yesterday is dead to me. Why she had to go, I don't know. She would not say. I said something wrong, not wrong for yesterday.
Amazing. Hot Computer Smell. I will be donating a bit later this week. Thank you.
Hot Computer Smell, I recognize that name.
Yeah,
I
I've seen that
smelled you.
name on the JLP chat.
I smelled you.
And on the Hake Report. Big Bump. This is a good little request. Talk a little bit about the recent trip to Oregon. Haven't seen you guys talk about it.
Yeah, it was
Oregon
cool.
is amazing.
Well, originally, the reason why we went was we had a trip planned to go to Big Bear
Yeah, we were all supposed to go to Big Bear with some friends.
from church.
Yeah, from church, from Bond. It was like 10 of us.
Yeah, it was like a few weeks ago. It was like 3 weeks ago now.
Big old house. We
We got a big house. It was ready to go. And
Games.
The day before,
Like half a day before.
we got that text, that group text. Hey guys.
Hey guys.
I'm not sure we should go because coronavirus, and it could be dangerous
Yeah.
to have a group full of people.
The fear started spreading through
Fear
the
came.
community.
We were pissed.
Yeah.
We were really pissed, but
There was 3 of us left that wanted to go.
yeah,
We're still down.
and there was originally like 11 of us, or however many there were, and so we were determined. We're like, man, I'm pumped to go to Big Bear and get out in the woods. So we decided, you know what? Let's take a trip to Oregon. My dad has a cabin out there.
Amazing cabin.
Yeah.
Like a dream. It's a dude's cabin.
It's a dude's cabin.
It's a dude's cabin.
It's a dude playing a dude in a dude's cabin. And and my favorite, that's my favorite drive of all time, is to drive along the coast and go up that the California coast up to Oregon. And he's never been in the Redwood Forest, so I was like, let's do it. We got a little
Gotta go.
Airbnb on the way there, and
Yeah,
I
in the
recommend it.
ghetto of San Jose.
yeah, but it was worth it.
It was alright.
It was great.
But the redwoods are nuts.
The redwoods are amazing.
It's the biggest trees I've ever seen.
and it's the only place in the world where those redwoods, sequoias grow.
Yeah, you gotta check it out. It's hard to, like you said, taking a picture of it is not the same unless you get someone to stand in front. You see the scale, but seeing it in person it's just weird. It's a magical place.
Yeah, it gives you a feeling of like eerie, like, you know, it's like you see anything that's grand in nature, and it's like, wow, like it's powerful, I guess. You know, like even like if you're out in the middle of the ocean for the first time, you just see all this water around you, or you see a huge mountain or a cliff, or you know, all those things in nature. It's like it's one of those moments, but it's with the tree.
Yeah, and you get forests that go all the way up to the sand at the beach.
Yeah.
So it's trippy because you got like these two, you know, what seem like separate climates, because we're used to just seeing bushes in Malibu and mountains, you know, with little shrubs going to the sand. This is massive trees and then sand.
And I grew up watching the movie The Goonies, and so I've always loved that. Was one of my favorite movies.
Filmed in Oregon.
And it was filmed actually in Astoria, in Oregon.
Which is like in the northern corner.
And so it gives me that vibe of like, wow, it's an adventure. You know, like I feel like I'm gonna look out and see a pirate ship in the ocean, you know, like at the end of the movie. But there's these big, huge rocks and boulders that are there, and then these cliffs, and it's a trip to see the ocean, and then you see sand, cliff, and then you see, you know, these big trees, and it goes into the forest, because usually you won't see the beach, like he said, the beach in a forest, like hitting it like that. Usually you think of like rivers in the forest, but this was like beach and forest. Ain't that about a beach?
It was amazing. Jennifer says redwoods are amazing, super majestic. Yeah, super majestic. And then just the whole way up there was real nice. The coastal cities, Oregon, everyone's a little more relaxed. It's not, you don't have to pump your gas in Oregon. That's pretty cool. You just park and they fill it up. They got a really good coffee chain called what's it called? The
There
drive-thru.
was the Dutch Brothers.
Dutch Brothers, and apparently only hire blonde, beautiful girls.
Yep.
It's amazing.
That's what we knew. We're like, because we, coming from California and LA, it's like I'm programmed to see beautiful people, beautiful women.
You appreciate it, like it's the golden ratio, and,
Yeah,
symmetry.
You go somewhere like Oregon, it's not so common. And I figured that if you want to see the beautiful girls in Oregon, you got to go to those drive-through coffee
Those
shops.
hip coffee shops.
That's where they dwell.
Because they certainly don't hang out at Cabela's.
Sure not.
Yeah. Travis says we should have slid through Idaho. That's on the list. It's based. It is
I've
based out there.
never been to Idaho.
Yeah, it's super conservative. They love their guns, hunting, outdoors, and they love America.
Yeah, America.
America.
One day we will all identify as Americans. We won't be so caught up in history and what happened, what had happened.
What had happened was.
And if we could all be present in the moment of now, identified as human beings,
remain at zero on the stopwatch.
America. Americans, no matter if you're black, white, Asian, Indian,
Purple, green, blue.
Ethiopian, whatever it is you may be, we will be Americans.
Right. We should always identify as that. Not African American, not Irish American, not Spanish American. American.
Yeah, not
That's it.
African Canadian.
Yeah. Just American. We're
Yeah.
in the same boat.
American, man.
AOC wants to sue the sun for global warming. Amazing. Tennessee ladies. I think he's trying to tell us that we should check out Tennessee. Nashville.
Yeah.
I
Are
think
you from Tennessee? Because you're the only 10 I see.
Yeah. Didn't you go to Nashville for that show?
Mm-hmm.
He was in Tennessee.
I was there.
Amazing
There
barbecue.
was actually wasn't there like a hurricane or a tornado that just went there? I hope everyone
Yeah.
is cool. The news doesn't report on those kind of things. They only report on like President Trump, and they report on COVID-19. But I think a few weeks ago there was this huge
Yeah.
tornado or something like that, and a lot of people died.
Yeah. Terrible. I mean, where would you rather stay? Tornado country, hurricane country, or earthquake country?
I mean, I've been in earthquake country. What is it? Tornado, earthquake, or what?
Well, I guess the fourth one would be like ice country.
Tornado,
Frozen
earthquake,
north. Yeah.
hurricane?
Or snowstorms.
snowstorms, or avalanche country.
Yeah.
I'll take the snowstorms.
Interesting. I think I'll stick with. I'd put up with tornadoes and earthquakes. I don't know if I want to deal with hurricanes, but Miami sounds nice.
I'm in Miami, trick.
Matt Kruger says tornado all the way. Hey Matt, where do you live? I saw that Matt has a farm. He was tilling the soil. He was laying the seed.
Say it again.
Tilling his soil. Laying his seed. Being a man. You know what he needs. Big bad tornado. I live 45 minutes from Nashville. Yeah, you were right.
I went to Nashville and some girl sent me a DM. She knew I was there and she says, "Hit me up and I'll show you why they call it Smashville."
Amazing.
I was like,
I guess those Nashville women are.
"Who are? What is your name?
Forward.
What's your name again?"
Stacey Abrams is quarantined in her favorite buffet. Yeah, she's fat. She's big and fat. Let's see. Matt Kruger is Indiana. That's amazing. My foreman, I worked for an Edison contractor.
George Foreman?
George Foreman, Grill. He lives in Bloomingfeld, just next to Bloomington. But he's from Indiana. He's a good old boy. And Matt says he's 30 minutes south of Indianapolis with traffic nowadays.
Nice.
She fat. Hot computer smell.
You know what we were talking about? We were watching these YouTube videos of those buses, shuttle buses that you can convert into like a house, and we were talking about, man, wouldn't that be fun? And we were actually considering that doing that is getting one of those shuttle buses.
Make a tour bus.
Yeah, and create a tour bus living situation that would just be super dope, right? Not some like homeless looking thing, but just like trick it out, make it super awesome, and then you could just travel and be free, not tied to anything, no rent, and set up different shows that I could perform at, and
Meet up
hit
with
the
different
road.
friends and hang out.
And it would create an opportunity to make content all the time because people like to see that kind of thing where wherever you're going, it's an adventure. Have a little recording studio in there. Wouldn't that be sweet?
That'd be amazing. Christine Stewart says she was babysitting, grabbed the kids, took them into the bathroom, and it sounded like a train running through the house when a tornado came.
Oh dang!
That's crazy.
So did you have a one of those
Tornado? The cellar?
Yeah, the little bunker you go in.
You go in the ground? Did you have stairs that you had to descend?
If I lived in tornado country, I would definitely want to have one of those.
Hell yeah. You've seen that Bill Paxton movie. Twister. It's real.
Yeah.
Trevor Wesley, how Computer Smell wants to know is the California government and taxes as bad as everyone thinks it is?
Well, let me tell you. California, such a wonderful place to live. Our taxes are going to hell. Why must I live here in California? California, California. He changed California. California, such a wonderful place to live. Our taxes are going to hell.
Yeah, no, it's pretty bad. You get taxed on taxed on taxed. People voted for the gas tax, and we already get taxed enough. And idiots voted for it. And for what? It makes no sense. But we do have the best weather in the union, I think.
Yeah. California's awesome. I grew up here. I love California, but it's going to hell.
How Computer Smell says, Virginia sucks too. The worst city ever, of course, is Chicago, but the greatest in the summer. I've heard Chicago's pretty nuts.
I heard that ever since this COVID-19 home lockdown thing, the crime's gone down a lot.
Yeah, well, they had one of the biggest crime rates in the nation.
Or the death tolls.
Yeah.
Isn't that interesting that on the news you hear all these things about more deaths from the virus, but then in Chicago there's less deaths because people can't go out and shoot
each other.
That's crazy.
Black Victoria's in the chat. She's going to be here on Wednesday.
That's tomorrow, isn't it?
Is it? I lost track of time. Ever since Corona, every day is just today.
Black Toria, you gotta bring your ass!
Black Toria.
Come on!
You
Come
gotta be down
hang!
here. She says, "Hey, Bomb Bros. Thank you for this welcome distraction from work this evening." She black. She is black, ladies and gentlemen. Wu-Tang virus. Oh, B. Neal sent a super chat. Thank you, B. Neal.
I appreciate that.
Love me some Bomb Bros. Please keep bringing those harmonies. Oh, modulation. Nice. Amazing. Thanks, Neil. You're the man. Article 4, Section 4. I hear it is next to impossible to get a concealed weapons permit in California. It is. It is very, very hard.
Yeah, concealed, that's what I heard.
You gotta have a job that demands it. I talked to the guy at the gun shop and he told me that even for him, if he was to get caught pulling over at a gas station, taking a leak at a restaurant, picking up food on his way from home to work, that is a violation of his concealed carry permit. He must be going straight to work and straight back home.
Pow!
Pow!
Yeah, it's pretty nuts, man. Because I don't know what I believe. I'm still like growing into my life as a man. I was never into politics. And what drives me to have an opinion is just basically trying to be in tune with my moral compass and figure out right and wrong, good and evil, right? It's not about... But I think that a lot of people don't care and they think that morality is a social construct. And then if you grow up a certain way, that's how you know
it's subjective.
What moral is. Yeah, exactly. Morality is subjective. And I think... I would know, but I think that if I was born in a forest and grew up, I'd still know. Like, the golden rule. It's like, what happens to you, you wouldn't want to do to somebody else.
It's like you gotta learn evil or be exposed to evil to end up like Cain. Something has to damage you, and then you're able to be mean to somebody else. Other than that, I think your natural impulse is, to be right, be fair, take care of yourself, but it comes from love.
Yeah.
Flex asks, can you get a shout out, please?
Flex!
Flex!
Flexi Smalls, Flexi Smalls.
There you go, Flex. Can't wait for Black Toria. Yeah, we can't wait either. It's gonna be amazing.
Come on!
It's gonna be Blur's Day, because Black Thursday.
What's Black Thursday?
I don't know, I guess,
I thought it was Black Friday.
It's gonna be Black Wednesday, Wednesday. Black Toria, join the team, says Christine. Victoria says, boo, we need guns, man. Hell yeah, we need guns.
Hell yes.
Narek is in the chat, our Armenian brother. Hey, bro.
Narek.
Bro.
Bro. You come hang out, we give
bro,
you good price.
Come, bro. Come. Good
price.
deal, bro. You want jeans? I got jeans, bro.
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 Isn't it funny though how people, they'll take something like that and they'll be like, oh, that's racist and all those things. But I feel like people need to just, you know, if you don't have anger and you're able to just hang out and have good spirits,
it's a good time.
Whatever you are and someone else's different culture, race, whatever, just because they occur to you some way doesn't mean that you're racist. You know, like I remember there was a time like maybe 10 years ago when it was like it wasn't as sensitive and crazy as it is now. Like people know, you should know somebody's heart and that's it. And not be, you know, so caught up in identity being coming from the physical. It's all about the spirit, man.
Our bro says, you do the accent better than me, bro.
Oh, thank you, bro.
Bro.
Who's you? It could be him.
Bro.
It could be me.
Armenians are amazing. They're like, they're just always, I told him I used to work at a building here in Glendale, manage it, and there was one guy, Robert, I won't say his last name.
Is he Armenian?
He's Armenian.
He's not Persian?
Bro, he was Armenian, full 100%. And this guy would always throw the craziest parties, always waking people up, but you couldn't get mad at him. You know, he'd comply. I go there, Robert, you got to keep it down, man. You're too loud. You can't do cocaine off these titties here at the pool. And then he would just be like, bro, do you want chicken, bro? And he'd just come out with plates of food. Chicken, bro. Here, bro.
It's bribery.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, shut your mouth. I'll give you some chicken.
He still turned the volume down, brought the naked girls in. But he gave me free food, and it was always a good time.
He was Karen getting free food.
Yeah.
Missing out on the naked Armenian bitches.
Bro. Oh, no, bro. He got bars, bro. Sounds Greek, too. Yep, never let the government protect you. The cops just clean up the mess. Yeah, you just can't. You can't. They're not going to appear when you need them magically.
Who's they?
The cops.
Oh.
Like, say you're about to get mugged or something. You have to know how to. You have to be ready to defend yourself at all times. You should carry something on you, know how to use it.
Yeah, at the end of the day, it just comes down to self-empowerment.
Yeah.
Being able to be empowered within yourself.
Always ready.
Exactly. And you never want to have. What was the saying?
Don't get caught slipping.
Who said it? That give me security over freedom and
give me liberty or give me death.
Yeah, it's an illusion to think that having security is more important than freedom, because freedom is everything.
Yeah, something like better than. I'd rather have like a chaotic freedom or the crazy versus like safe slavery.
It was security over freedom, and give me security instead of freedom, and you'll have none.
Jesus said, "Buy 2 swords." That's pretty based.
2 swords, 1 dagger.
Yeah, I mean, you're not supposed to be a pushover. I mean, that's the whole thing. As a Christian, you're not trying to start fights, but you're gonna end it if they try to take a swing at you. But you won't hate them.
You punch back.
Yeah, you duck, you punch them, then you pick them up, and you good.
I just saw a video. Yeah, you get in a fight,
you good?
And then you take them to lunch.
Yeah, bro. Let's go. Those who would trade freedom for the illusion of safety is a fool who deserves neither. That sounds better.
Yeah, it was something like
that. Something like that. Benjamin Franklin said it. Thank you, Nadik. Bro. Smells like a pleasant spring breeze. Those who prefer safety over liberty deserve neither. Yeah. You end with tyranny when you trade liberty for the false sense of security. You guys all said it better.
Try to make sure the keys aren't louder than the vocals so you can hear both.
Yeah, how's it sound? We're still working on all this. It's just kind of having fun, but we're trying to do some more skits and graphics and eventually have people call in. And when Black Victoria's here, it's going to be cool.
Yeah.
Thanks, Epstein. Man with hand in pocket feel cocky all day. That good old hot metal and plastic. Let's see. I think I had another question somebody sent over. What was the question? How parents face being open and trying to get along with it. Oh yeah. Should a parent try to get along with their kid? Is that a parent's job? Are you supposed to get along with your kid?
I think
You're supposed to be their friend?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think so. I think a parent is a parent, and getting along will come natural once they are able to see what the example you are. You know, I don't have kids, so I know it's kind of weird to talk about what it's like. But I was a kid, and I had parents, and of course, anyone that you talk to that has kids and is a parent will always tell you, you know, well, until you have kids, you know, you don't know.
Oh, my buddy Curious Realist is in the chat. Wow. Hey, no way. Is your name really Rick? It's the same. You have the same name,
Rick
man.
James.
You got the same name. Be the example and let them speak, but correct without emotions, says Matt. Yeah, I mean you don't even parent, to be honest. You're living the right way.
To be honest, does that mean you're not honest other times?
I think sometimes I might be deceived. But yeah, you just live. You're an example. They see how you deal with your crazy neighbors. They see how you pay your bills, how you deal with the job and flat tires and life's little obstacles, and then they're gonna mimic that, and that's how they learn. You don't actually teach them. You just show them either the right way to live or the wrong way to live.
Yeah, I feel like inspiration is key, and if you have a real love, there's inspiration in that, and I think the most valuable thing you can give somebody is your full attention with love, you know, where you're able to listen, you know.
Victoria says parents who do the friend thing don't want their kids to hate them like they hate their parents. All bad. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of like they're scared to tell you the truth. Just like when people turn on you is because they usually bit their lip for too long and they finally lost it, and that whole time that you thought they were cool with you, they were actually just, what do you say, keeping tally, keeping score.
I think for a lot of people too, people are raised the way they are. They grow up and they have their traumas, and they hold on to them subconsciously even. And then when they have kids, they want to overcompensate and make sure that what happened to them didn't happen to to their kids. When it's not being at zero and just taking things as it is and as they are. It's, you know what I'm saying?
You know what I'm saying?
Every thought is a lie. A thought comes in and tries to tell you something, and then you gotta, instead of just being in the present moment talking, try to came and seduce me.
Yeah, I forgot your name was Rick. He's like, I thought I told you. Everything goes in one ear and out the other now. I don't hold on to a lot of stuff.
You might want to keep that to yourself.
Yeah, I forget things. I sometimes I feel like Joe Biden. Yeah. I like to be in the jacuzzi. You know, and the hairs on my legs, and they stand up and they turn blonde in the sun.
They turn blonde.
They turn blonde in the sun, and then the little kids, they push the hair down, and I watch them come back up again.
That was funny. Those were the days.
Yale, that's my buddy, I think Korean, right? Base Korean, I told you, Navy dude. Korean, comedian, works at a comedy house, met him in Utah, super based.
Nice.
He's like Mike, but if Mike took steroids. Yeah. For those who don't know, Asian Mike.
Asian Mike.
Asian Mike. Obviously, he's white. Rest in peace, Joe Biden. So true, Trevor. I stopped focusing on my thoughts, says Epstein's ghost.
Nice.
I guess he is dead.
Is he?
I don't know. His ghost is in the chat.
All right.
Kids, that is. They used to call me Corn Pop. Are you guys still locked down? David's in the chat.
That's what Biden said, right? He's calling Corn Pop.
I think he said that there used to be a gangster in his neighborhood by the name of Corn Pop, and that he had stood up to Corn Pop and like put his foot down. Sounds like a corny gangster, pun intended.
I heard pop and made me think of Pop Pop. Biden seems to be a lot of people's Pop.
Corn Pop was a bad dude. Corn Pop was a real bad dude, you know. Shout out to Asian Mike, says Big Bump. I heard he's corn nuts. Yeah. So, it's interesting today. I noticed that we went for a walk around the river trying to get some ideas out, and more people are acting like really weird. You walk by them, even if they got their masks on, and there's plenty of space between you, they're like they'll pull their kids close. They'll lean back and then look at you like you got like an ass on
Yeah,
your face.
if you don't have a mask on, people are like, "How dare you?"
Yeah, like you're sick.
It's
I
crazy, and usually it's like the person with the mask is the one that's sick.
It's crazy. Are you guys wearing masks?
You guys were. I know it's the law now. I don't want to get a fine.
Yeah, we took one to Home Depot.
We got masks. We couldn't go into Home Depot unless we had the masks.
We just kept it here on the neck.
Forced.
Yeah, it's crazy. I'm not wearing that damn mask. The
We
tension
all
was
wear
real.
masks. Metaphorically speaking.
How dare you? How dare you? David says he went to Publix today, and the aisles have directions in them. Yeah, they want everything to be one-way traffic. It's crazy. They stay in this line.
It's all about control, man. Like,
Yeah.
I don't understand why in America we have to have all these, imposed things on us.
Why give into it? Like it just doesn't work that way. If you're gonna get this cold, you got a weak immune system. You're sick. Your lungs are crap. It's not worth all this extra control. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense, and I think a lot of it has to do with, it's the seasonal flu and the deaths that happen every year from the flu and sicknesses in general. You never zero in on it and see what those numbers are. But now with this virus, the media and everybody's like just magnifying it and bringing it to everyone's attention when people die every year from the flu in higher numbers than what was happening now.
So the CDC stats, we just looked it up
It was anywhere from 22,000 to 62,000
60 plus
people.
thousand, which is way more than coronavirus.
But you never hear about it, so no one's tripping and no one's.
And that's the problem with the media. They're highlighting like the smallest piece of the picture, and that's what's wrong, is that they're amplifying that. It's fine to acknowledge it, just like you can acknowledge the crime stats in Chicago, and obviously where the demographics point towards in that. But they're going to want to say, but look at this police shooting. Doesn't say that's not happening, but they amplify things to play with your emotions.
That's the only way they can survive, is they have to create fear and keep you glued to the TV because you feel like you're, like experiencing something.
Yeah, like having restrooms that say whatever now, and it just makes no sense. That was never an issue. And what's the percent of the population that needs that?
Yeah, no, exactly. It's always about change and progress. It's like moving forward isn't always a positive thing, because you could be walking forward and fall off a cliff.
Or walking forward into a cell. Nautic says if we get used to this BS, they'll bring it every flu season. Yeah. Or it'll never leave. It might just stay in certain ways, the extra control, lining people up.
Yeah, I'm not claiming to know anything. I just will know that it's weird.
Corn Pop is in the chat. What up, Corn Pop? He's a bad dude. This is about control and getting the public accustomed to big government control. Yeah.
Exactly.
They're marketing for 30 politicians, says Matt. Reset of the New World Order. China just launched the first shots of the new war, just not hot yet. Yeah. Rick, how about all these TikTok nurse? Exactly! How about the TikTok nurse videos? Seems like they sure have a lot of time on their hands. It's ridiculous.
But who knows? Because everything's only, you only see what you see, and you can't conclude anything. Like, in their
could be an old video.
Yeah, they could be on their break.
But still, there shouldn't be this new trend, and if you could show that's happening now in hospitals, like it makes no sense if they're all like running nonstop shifts and
Yeah, I don't know. It's just.
It's just weird. We can't conclude because I'm not there. He's not there.
Half of it is just the way society operates and how things become trending and how it's like a frequency. Everyone's on this COVID-19 thing, and so all content is like about that or about the nurses there doing dances, or it's just a trip. It's interesting.
I think Jen has some news from OC. She says Children's Hospital in OC is cutting hours. Exactly. If they're really working that much and that long, they'd be hiring like crazy. But it's not that out of control. Now, I'm not saying people aren't getting sick, but it does not need this kind of response. That's for sure. Yeah.
It's just interesting that it could happen. That all of a sudden our freedoms just like that are being taken away when we never voted for them. We don't get to have a say as people.
We don't even agree on the data.
It's just boom. That's the scary part.
Fluoride in the water. It's what makes the water smoke. I thought it's what made the frogs gay. Alex Jones.
How did you find out they were gay? What'd you let them do?
Took him to dinner.
Nice.
David says, "Where's Trump in this?" I don't know.
I was asking with that before, like.
You know, I've got multiple ideas, different narrative possibilities, but.
Like, I understand he's a chess guy, and then maybe he'll, make a move like
cute
a strategic thing down the line, but, I mean,
it could also be
he's
the
allowing
opposite.
all this stuff to happen, and someone said something about, like, when Obama was in office, he passed a law where, the media is allowed to lie, or something. I saw something about that.
They can start censoring stories, which gave them they can indirectly lie by getting rid of the truth and putting their own spin on it.
And if that's true, then I mean, Trump would be able to say, "All right, I'm going to pass a law that's not going to make that happen."
But has he?
He hasn't. So I mean, but I don't even know if either of those things are true.
So it's interesting. We don't know a lot of things. We take everything by word of mouth in a sense, because a lot of us are not there for all this actual information.
Yeah, because we all hear stuff and we can do research, but even when we research, we're only hearing what we can find, and we don't really know. And so I know I just want to not be attached to anything and just kind of observe and not get caught up and riled up emotionally about it. Not be afraid, but just have that faith that it'll all be okay.
Yeah, in the end, you still just gotta wait and see. Just stay ready, and you'll see what to do next. And if you gotta head for the hills, then you head for the hills. If it gets better, it gets better. In the end, it's bigger than us, and just don't make a move too soon, because that's usually when you screw up.
Yeah, that's what I learned. If I don't know what to do, I won't do anything until I see what to do, because that desperation will make me do the wrong thing.
Yeah,
This is like what people do when they get emotional and they're, pissed off and they have to come back and apologize later. Sorry, I don't know what got into me.
yeah. Or I'm sorry, I just bought all the toilet paper at the market. They're panicking.
Yeah.
Just don't panic.
All of a sudden, everything's out of stuff. When everybody had what they needed before, but now people have too much or people don't have enough.
Matt Kruger got an interesting comment. Not Obama. It's from the congressional hearings on the CIA heart attack gun and the propaganda in the news. It's legal. And I was telling you about that. He's right. The Senator Church was interviewing CIA Director Colby about the special weapons they got, and one of them was a gun, a .45 caliber, or based on that structure, whatever, but it was a dart gun, and it could shoot something that would give you a heart attack, make it look like you had a heart attack. And this was in a congressional hearing on film that you can see on YouTube. It's real. They can kill you with a heart attack gun. So imagine how good the technology is now.
That's one thing I know for sure is that the high ups of the riches, like Bill Gates and all those kind of people that are in that little society of winning and power, they know more than we do, and in a lot of ways, I think we are controlled and only exposed to certain things.
Do you think Fauci is legit? Dr. Fauci, little short guy. He looks like the guy from the Burbs.
I don't know much about Dr. Fauci.
Yeah, I think he's
but I do know that I gotta pee.
Yeah, he's definitely lied about things.
So you go ahead.
We're gonna hang out for a minute. He's gonna.
And I'm gonna go.
He's gotta drain
use the restroom.
Drain the snake.
Because I keep it real. You know what I'm saying? I could have said anything, but I decided to tell you the truth, and for that, I need your respect.
Fauci is a top-level Freemason.
I am once again asking
for your financial support. The PR guy. What up, brother? Fauci was pictured with Bill Gates' dad. Yeah, Bill Gates' dad was on the board of Planned Parenthood. Interesting family there, Don't fall in. Ties to Clinton and Gates. You guys know all this stuff. That's what's crazy is this used to be conspiracy theory stuff. But it's never really been out there. It's just people didn't want to accept it, and it wasn't on your news. But now with the internet, there's a lot of nonsense out there. But at the same time, you can start to hear things more often that you never would have seen. It never would have seen the light of day. Bernie Corpse 2024. Bill Gates is a Rockefeller. I didn't know that. I had to look at that. I know James Alefonsis is a Rockefeller. You guys know that. Pizzagate. Comet Ping Pong. He's a Rockefeller. Here Comes the Sun. Do 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 do. Scottish Rite. Don't Fall In was to Trevor peeing. Oh, David said don't fall in.
I almost fell in, but you can only fall in when you pee to sit down. And as a man, I stand.
Yeah.
As an American.
Men who sit down hate their mother. What's in those cups you sipping on? It says elude.
Need more. Look at this guy. He's just spilling.
This guy knocked it over.
Looking nuts.
This is coffee right here, Lou. If you need tattoos in LA, you should save that guy's channel, Siphon. He does amazing tattoos. Facing doesn't look honest. Snake for sure. Fauci, I think she means. At these rich and trav. At these. I don't know what Big Bump is saying. What up, Big Bump? I'm dying. The PR. Oh, it's Ermius. Oh, what up, Big Erm? What's up, Big Erm?
What's up, Big Erm? What's cracking? Don't be eating my maple syrup.
Ermius said he came to hear Trevor play. Well, you came to the right place, Erm.
That's his way of saying shut your mouth and just play music. That's what he's saying.
He's saying dance, monkey, dance. Dance! Is this payback, Ermius, for 300 years? Is this how you're gonna do the white man? We docs here, Erm, just in case you wonder. Yeah, that's all I'm gonna say is Erm. Erm!
Erm.
This is payback for the white man.
I just want to earn me a salary in life.
I'm just trying to earn my way back to heaven.
Exactly. To earn my way.
The most reliable black employee at Bond. Yeah, and he's got one of the best voices for narrating. Next time on The Fallen State.
Next time on The Fallen
Next
State.
time on The Fallen State.
I'm over here looking at the chat, looking insane.
Research Albert Pike, the only Confederate general statue untouched with all that history erasure. Read his letters. Don't tell me what to do, Matt.
You should watch your mouth, boy.
Look away.
Don't look away.
I don't care. Like what you're doing.
Who's that?
Thomas Korchesny. Trevor, sing. Keep twerking, baby, might give you a scholarship in a classical way. Keep twerking, baby, might give you a scholarship in a classical way. Pike's 3 World Wars. Wasn't Albert Pike at that meeting on Jekyll Island with all the other bankers?
Like Jekyll and Hyde?
Yeah. There's an island called Jekyll Island where that's where they created the Federal Reserve.
Wow.
Yeah. And you all know about the Federal Reserve. Pike's 3 World Wars. Morals and dogma. Let's sing happy songs and celebrate. I like that too.
It's happy songs, man. Everything is happy. Happy, happy, joy, joy.
Ren and Stimpy, baby. Ren and Stimpy. Let's
Yeah,
see.
if you request a song and I know it, I'll do my best. But as a songwriter, I try to make my own songs, because I can't really make much money singing other people's songs. You know what I'm saying? Not to say anything I sing right now makes a difference. But if I know the song, I'll try.
And send in your questions, whatever it is, whatever random thing. But we don't have to talk about Corona and politics. It could be like simple things. You know?
Anything.
Why do butterflies look so beautiful?
Symmetry.
Symmetry. Symmetry.
Fibonacci.
Sequence.
That's why. I don't know what I'm playing.
Trump just merged the Federal Reserve with the U.S. Treasury. That's what I heard. I can't find documents that tell me. That would be like the Q thing saying that he got rid of the Fed, and it'll be good news for us. Matt, if you know how to prove that with documents,
Well, yeah, I remember.
let me know, because I'd like to believe that. I've heard that. I've heard that on 4chan, but I can't conclude because I don't know.
Yeah, supposedly he's restored America.
How much is gas in LA? Like $3.50, something like that.
I honestly, I've been Ubering around everywhere, so I'm not really paying attention to gas prices like that.
He can tell you how much Uber costs.
I can tell you that.
Let's see. The golden ratio is in Trump's hair. I've seen that picture. Yeah, Pike's letter is coming true. Nothing to fear if you have Christ as your Savior. Amen. I will get the bill to you as soon as I can find it. Yeah, Matt, please. I want to read that. And they put Trump head of usury. I heard it too. David says gas is $1.73 in Georgia.
Wow.
$1.73.
That's cheap.
Bullshit.
Don't hate.
I don't know if it's restored or total end of the republic. Yeah, who knows? I mean, all I know is that we're not allowed to go outside in the way we should. So even if that's true, right now it sucks. So there's no good news. $1.34 in Indiana. Amazing. Gonna watch and see. That's it. Just wait and see. We'll see what happens. Save your money. Get guns, get ammo, learn how to farm, find a beautiful woman, have some babies, have some more babies. If you're white, make white babies.
Says the guys with no kids. No kids.
But Jesus had no kids.
No kids.
Schmitty's in the chat.
Schmitty, hope you had a Schmitty day.
I know we can find a way. Here's another question from Trevor's Instagram from 2bells4. Marijuana and other bad habits that are hard to drop, but are needed to be dropped in order to grow further. I think they want to know, how do you drop bad habits like smoking pot, drinking too much?
I used to smoke pot every day for years. Smoked a lot of weed. And you know what? The more I tried and told myself I was going to stop, the more I did it. And when I created expectations and goals for myself, I always fell short. And all it did was create more judgment about myself, make me feel like, oh, I can't do anything. I'm smoking pot. I want to stop, but I can't. And I'd just be disappointed. But, you know, the root of it is not the pot. It's not, it could be, anything could be your vice. You know, it could be sex, it could be weed, it could be alcohol.
Anger.
It could be food.
Video
And
games.
I'm learning. The more I realize I'm zero, and I don't have an identity at all. I'm just in the present moment. And that I'm not God, right? I think that we all just kind of want to play God a lot and control outcomes and control our lives. But the more we sit back as the observer and become aware in the present moment, I think that all those things will fall away naturally, because most of the time I used to live in my imagination all the time, where I'd be thinking about certain things. So when I was smoking pot, I wasn't really observing myself smoking pot. I was in my head thinking about what I'm gonna do tomorrow, what I did yesterday. You know, I'm creative, so I'd be thinking about anything. I was everywhere but reality. So the more I come in tune with reality and in the present moment and become aware and observant of that, the more I just see what I'm doing that I know is wrong or right. And so when I'm sitting there smoking pot and observing it, I start to see what I'm doing. And I think the more we can see what we're doing and not have a judgment or opinion about it, because we know whether we, think in our heads, categorize ourselves as what we're doing is right or wrong. Our core knows, it's probably not the best thing, or it is the best thing, or whatever it is. And if we just observe, sit back.
Don't try and convince yourself.
Yeah, the real problem is playing God. And I never told myself I was going to stop smoking weed, and I stopped smoking weed.
Yeah, you don't plan it. I haven't had a drink in 4 or 5 months since last year, December.
Yeah.
I didn't
Alcohol,
plan it.
weed, anything. I just, yeah, I don't want to.
And it doesn't mean I won't have one again, but
Yeah.
I don't live in the future. I don't know if I'm going to have one tomorrow.
I didn't say I quit, you know. I never said, "Oh, I'm never doing that again."
It's fallen away as of today.
Yeah, and you end up thinking about forever. You know, it's like I think people do that with marriage too. They're like, "Oh, if I get married, that'll be forever. I got to be with that person for the rest of my life."
Which means you're living in your head. You're already living in thoughts about the future and how it's going to suck or whatever it's going to be, or it's the same person. And those thoughts wear you out, and then it ruins your present moment.
I can only have sex with the same girl for the rest of my life.
My whole life.
And then all the thoughts come in and their imagination and then they start living with that expectation somehow subconsciously. When if we're just present in the moment at all times.
It'd be a great marriage. It'd be just fine.
Yeah, because each day is each day. Tomorrow's not promised today.
And yesterday is gone and doesn't exist.
Exactly.
You know, you can't live in the past and you can't plan for the future.
Zero.
Nothing. Let's see. Credit Solutionist, our soon-to-be co-host, Black Victoria, wants to know, do we have any vices?
In my workshop,
I'd say no, because there's not anything that I can't, or that I'm subject to. You know, nothing has power over me. Like if I love coffee.
if I had a vice, I would say my vice is comfortability. I find myself, you know, being comfortable a lot of times where, you know, you hit a certain level in your life where you can you know, sustain life, right? It's to some degree, and I speak for myself, that once I get comfortable, like music, right? I'm very comfortable making music, but there's a lot of other areas that I want to get better at and do, but I somehow stay in my comfort zone, and I don't like that. I want to be able to be comfortable, uncomfortable, you know. So I mean, that would probably be my thing if I could think of it.
Yeah.
I gotta get comfortable with being uncomfortable, and then that means for me it's like it's stepping out of the comfort zone. It's not I don't know how to explain it, but I you know how we get in our routines and we get our way of being, and I want to be able to stretch out of that, and maybe, you know, it's like when you meet new people. You find people. I'm a product of my influences, so I know a lot of it has to do with forcing myself into situations that's going to put me in uncomfortable situations that I want to be able to grow in. And you know, it's like if you stay at home and make music, you're not going out and finding new, you know, circles and, you know, especially because I was in the music industry for a long time and with. You know, musicians and going out to jam sessions and all that kind of stuff. And when I started, you know, waking up in my life, I kind of fell away from it. And I remember that I was always, you know, I was busier with interaction with other people. And I know it was important for me to find time with myself so that I can get to know myself better. But I know it's also important to interact with other people. And I especially with this COVID-19 thing, it's like, I haven't even been going to church and seeing my people at Bond. And there's something about interaction with other people that keeps you on your toes and, you know.
Yeah, because you don't know if you've actually overcome things if you can't be around people that that might be at
they
different
give you
levels.
the tests.
You know?
It's the tests of life.
Like the way we talked about Jesse, how when he interviews people, he is able to draw out if they have anger and if they're not truly full of love, like most people claim to, he's able to get them to show that, you know, just by asking questions after questions and only asking for a straight answer, not maybes, not I guess, yes or no.
I think the gray area is confusion.
He had a really good analogy, the dimmer. That people well, Jesse loves to say, he'll ask black people a lot, do you love white people? And it's funny is that like 99% of black people will say, I love all people, Jesse. He's not asking about all people, it's very specific. Do you love white people? And he'll ask them, do you love black people? Do you love Jewish people? And they'll say yes, yes. But the second you ask them about white people, they can't say those words, so they have to say all people. It's like a nice little euphemism. You
I know. I do notice that more people can't answer questions directly, and I'm trying to do that more with asking people questions and with answering questions. So really hearing what people say instead of hearing what I want to hear.
Yeah, be direct. And if you don't know, it's better to say I don't know instead of trying to cover your bases and include all three possibilities in your answer. You smoke for medicinal purposes, talking to Jason.
The old medicinal purpose. I can always find a medicinal reason to smoke.
Right.
I can always find one. Oh,
those tests are the toughest.
it helps me sleep.
Satan definitely sneaks up on you when you think you have it all figured out, says Victoria.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got nothing figured out.
Yeah.
The only thing I got figured out is that I don't have anything figured out. Only thing I know is that I know nothing.
Yeah. I don't think you should have expectations about what you know or anything, because what you know could be upended tomorrow. And if you knew as much as you thought you knew, why isn't your life perfect?
And back to the vice thing, it's like a vice could be sex, it could be food, it could be alcohol or drugs or something like that. But I think even subconsciously for a lot of people, a vice is their ego, to where they have to, be right all the time. They have to, that's their vice, is that they need to have that dopamine of feeling like they have a purpose, and then I'm contributing.
Like playing mother.
I'm doing. I think that's the thing too, and I know I've overcome my anger because I don't get mad. And today, I don't know. Today was a weird day because I was messing around with this live stream thing and
trying to figure out how to set
I was
up.
like, am I being annoyed right now?
Yeah, it was interesting.
It was interesting.
It was funny, but he was observing himself. Almost gonna lose his mind.
I almost grabbed one of my knives.
But it's actually pretty complicated to do all this live stream stuff and trying to figure out how to add stuff.
Because I knew I only had like an hour, and I was there scrambling trying to do it, and so the pressure.
Jen says people are addicted to themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah, they can be. Kruger, remind me of Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. Socrates with Socrates. Socrates. Satan corrupted all the things of the earth, from the plants to the animals. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like, you want to smoke weed, smoke weed. I smoked too much in my life. I used to work in that business. I used to be how you should say, a nursery manager with my buddy.
You're still a nursery manager.
Yeah, but we had a pretty big thing out in OC in his territory. It was huge. I thought I was in heaven. Best job I ever had. Just got to hang out with plants all day, but it was no good.
Plants?
Marijuana.
Oh.
Yeah, we were growing. It was huge, but it just makes your mind race for me. I can't,
Yeah, I never realized in the past that weed did that to me until I stopped smoking it, and then I tried it again, and I realized that it puts me in my imagination.
Yeah, hardcore.
And as I grow in my life and want to come into reality and grow up and find the truth about myself and become more aware, that when I smoke it, it puts me right back into my imagination, and all these thoughts come at me. And it was uncomfortable. I didn't like it. Not to say, because I just said that I want to be comfortable in all uncomfortable situations. But it was an unnatural uncomfort. It was like, it was imposed onto me. And it's weird because weed, in a lot of senses, like as a creative person, I like to be in my imagination so that I can make stuff and create music or whatever. And I used to really make habits of smoking weed when I would create, and it's interesting to smoke it for so long and then stop smoking it and then grow to love being normal, and then smoke it again and compare and see.
Yeah,
wow, like
it's real clear.
I'm not a huge fan anymore, but I still appreciate
the smell.
The smell.
It smells amazing.
There's nothing like a weed plant. Weed plants are like, it's a flower.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Isaiah Stewart, not Stewart. Yes, Stewart sent us a super chat. This is that
nice.
painter.
Thank you, brother.
He did that cartoon of Jesse Lee. This guy is an amazing painter. Check him out on Instagram, Isaiah Stewart. He's in the chat. He said, "Great set, guys. Let's all grow with God." Amen.
Yeah. And before we wrap this up, I want to say that we want to help this grow, and thank you for coming on here with us.
Yeah, thank you guys.
And I want to try to figure out how to make a little theme intro and just make it more interactive and fun. Get people to call in and so you can see it on the screen. Because we got this software program that's going to allow us to be able to implement different things, and hopefully it could grow into something fun. And
I mean, it's the kind of like the way we met at church, and I think we speak for both of us, but like we both have commented how the best part of Bond and what Jesse has helped make over there is that real fellowship. There's nothing like it. Like if you just gotta come hang out. It's great to be around people who are trying to stay present, and it makes a huge difference in the energy. It just feels peaceful. It feels right, and just trying to create that fellowship to edify each other.
yeah.
You know, not to judge you. You can believe what you want, smoke what you want.
Yeah, like for me, I don't want to come on here so I can have a platform to say what I think. You know, maybe that comes with it, but I want to be able to hear perspectives, and help contribute to bringing back everyone's ability to be free to have a perspective and say what you want to say, and have it be okay. Because I think a lot of people are afraid to say what they want to say. And they're almost like not even in tune to know what they want to say anymore because they've been trained to have to, suppress whatever they believe, and because they want to keep friends, they don't, they want to be liked, they want to keep their job, and
or even if it's hot button things where people have, their unpopular opinions or positions, you shouldn't just write anybody. I don't care how extreme society tells you their position is. You should be open to hearing it. Like it doesn't mean you're supporting it, you're taking that stand, that you're endorsing it, but talking it to everybody and hearing them out is important.
Yeah.
You can. That's how you figure it out without anger, and discussing it. I don't care what the topic is, just as long as you come from a right place. Don't bring that anger here. But you got an interesting theory or question, throw it in the chat.
And you know what I realized? There's more power in, when you're talking to somebody and maybe they disagree or you have different opinions or you're debating about something. And as soon as you hear something that someone says that you disagree with, your brain starts going, and and you're seeing the reasons why you disagree. And as soon as that happens, you eliminate listening, because you can't ride two horses at the same time. You can't listen, think about what you're going to say next at the same time. So for me, it's like I want to really make better habits of when I hear something, someone says that I disagree with or whatever, to continue listening so I can hear everything that they have to say. And when they're done talking, then I can go down the list and say, well, I agree with that, I disagree with this or that. But I think a lot of people have, do that and they're not aware of it. It's to not allow people to finish what they're saying and get cut off before they're done saying it. And I think that's what's going to create the tension. And is if you just sit back and listen more than talk, then by the time they're done talking, then you will be able to do it, and that's being the example of what you want. So that's the one thing I'm going to try to be more aware of.
Smitty just gave an amazing super chat.
Oh, damn.
Thanks, brother. Smitty!
Smitty!
Man, this song is for you.
I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way. I know we can find super chats today.
Thank you, Smitty. Thank you. Let's see what we had some comments on this. Black Victoria, yeah, Bond is awesome. I've never had a group of guys and girls that tell me the truth without fear, and she knows that. But like we let each other have it at our lunches, but there's no anger there. We can be open about everything, and you don't sugarcoat it, because if you really love your friends, you're gonna tell your friend when they're what you see is true, what you observe is right or wrong, and not to spare their feelings.
Right.
It becomes all about the pot, or drink, or food, or whatever the vice is. Pot usually brings food. It brings a lot of food.
Speaking of food, I'm hungry.
Oh, Daniel's in the chat.
Daniel, what's up? Well, he came right at the end.
Good show, dudes. Thank you.
I don't want to
Way to be on
too
time,
long, you know what I'm saying?
Daniel.
I'd rather
Damn,
keep people
Daniel.
wanting more than, all right, that's enough.
Yeah, but hey, look, everyone's still hanging out in the chat. I swear it was a salad and not hot wings. It is awesome fellowshipping with y'all.
Yeah, I appreciate it, and maybe Victoria will come by tomorrow if it's Wednesday. If tomorrow is Wednesday.
I think is it Wednesday? I lost track of time.
Yeah,
but yeah, Victoria knows you're here Wednesday. And we're gonna do a first stream with our new co-host.
Yeah, come on, Victoria.
Blacktorious. It tricked me for years because I thought that was the real me when I was doing it, smoking pot. Couldn't be further from the truth. Yeah, you create a whole imaginary you when you're drinking and smoking. And
Tomorrow's Tuesday.
tomorrow's
Sweet.
Tuesday?
We got a whole day.
A day and
We've
a
gained
half.
a whole day. All right, well, we've been on here for 85 minutes.
Can we get a focus on the real threat to us? Earl. All right. Thank you guys. This was fun. All 27 of you. So
Take care.
tomorrow or Wednesday. Later.